How do you get a book published? How do you get a book published? It's a question that can be answered 100 ways, like a lot of others, right? How do you get a book published? Well, there's 3 ways primarily that I'm aware of that you can get a book published. Number 1 is you can self-publish the book. Number 2, you can get a publisher to publish the book. And then number 3, you could get like a major publisher to pay you in advance for, the promise of making a book, and then they do everything on their end and you just get money. Number 3 is typically reserved for Stephen King and Dean Koontz and the lady that wrote the Harry Potter books. In other words, if you're not Tom Clancy, forget about number 3, okay? Number 2 is finding a publisher that can do all the things that you would need to do yourself in terms of outsourcing your book cover design, editing, layout, ebook development, all those kinds of things. They can do all that stuff because they have all the people in one place. Now, they're going to charge you for it. You're going to pay them for it, and then they're going to provide you with a finished file, a finished digital file of your book that is now you're able to go take that and send it off to printers and pay the printers to print your book. Okay, that's still, believe it or not, self-publishing, but you're using a publishing company. Now, some of them operate in different ways, okay? Some publishing companies want to get a portion of all the books you sell for doing what they do for you. Others want you to pay them the money to do the things they do, and then they give you the files and they're out, okay? I recommend that way, okay? I recommend the second way that I mentioned because there's no guarantee that your book is going to sell as well as you think it may sell. And unless you have some kind of track record for selling books, you're probably not going to find a publisher that's willing to do all those things for no upfront money, just for royalties or commissions on the backside from your sales. So with that being said, now, number 1 option that I gave you was the total self-publishing, which is literally you going out and finding a book cover designer and getting your book cover, and then going out and finding an editor and sending them your manuscript and just getting them to edit it and pay them. And then finding somebody who knows how to do layouts, and you give them your files and they relay everything out and reformat everything and send it back to you and you pay them. And you can do all those things individually if you want. My recommendation, if you want to get a book published, my recommendation is to find a publishing company, a small publishing company that's willing to do all of those things for you, that's willing to do all of those steps and those individual processes without your involvement. In other words, you give them your manuscript, you tell them what the cover design you'd like to see, an idea, kind of a general, vague sort of, I want it to look like this, and then they kind of just handle everything, and you pay them, and it's going to be expensive, several $1,000s at a minimum. However, once it's done, and you didn't have to deal with all the ins and outs and the individual pieces of it. So if you're doing this to become rich selling books, understand that's probably not going to happen for you, especially not on your first book. This is my first book, Breaking the No Barrier. I just published it about a couple of months ago, and now I'm getting heavily into the marketing of said book, and with that comes all the rest of it, right? Getting a Fulfillment by Amazon account, getting an Amazon seller account, getting a website, getting all these types of things. You can actually go to breakingthenobarrier.com. I put the link right below the video. You can click on it and go there and see what a book promotion website looks like. You can see how there are links on there that go directly to Amazon for the print book, the ebook, the iBook, and how all that stuff ties in together, because effective marketing is going to require you to do all that stuff, right? And you're also going to have to get your Amazon accounts, your Fulfillment by Amazon accounts, and all those kinds of things. So get ready, because there's going to be a lot to do. But initially, I would begin by looking for a relatively small type of publishing company that is willing to really just take your manuscript and just kind of go from there and give you back files that you then can send to a printing company and have your finished book sent to you in the mail. The big stack of books you see behind me right here was sent to me from my printing company about 3 days. Actually, well, it took them 3 days to print them. It took them about another couple days to get them to me. But within a week of me sending in the files, I had printed books in my hands, which is pretty cool. But again, be prepared to spend some money, because it is what's going to be required. But once you have those printed books now, you have a product, and you can sell that product, and you can market that product, and you can use that product to get you speaking gigs, and you can use that product to build your credibility, and you can use that product to do a lot of great things A book is a wonderful, very expensive, but very classy and effective business card for you. Just don't expect to get rich selling books in the first year. And that, my friends, hopefully is helpful to you. Go click on the link and go to the website and check it out. I'd really appreciate any feedback you have for me. Leave it in the comments. I'm happy to hear from you. And if there's any way that I can help you, leave a message in there for me as well. Let's work together, man. We're all small-time authors trying to make it big time. And I got a little bit of knowledge. Hopefully that helps.